Sisters of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea, I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me. Brothers, oh, the cauldron cries, it singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and of Father.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. Being broadcast live tonight on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live, and also on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. If you are there, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I am going live, make sure you hit the little bell. It says ding-a-ding-a-ding. Pay attention. And no matter how you are hearing me, make sure you stop by and say hello. Either leave a comment in the chat or send me an email at wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY@gmail.com. And if you want to support the shop, please do so. You can go to etsy.com/shop/Monarch Mountain Studio, MTN from Monarch. Or you can go to patreon.com/the spaces between. Whatever works best for y'all. And I do just ask that you check out ialife.com, which is the official sponsor for Truth Frequency Radio. And yes, love iAlife. It combines a little bit of the ayahuasca and a little bit of the CBD. And you get the best of it all. And yeah, helps boost your immune and everything else. Now, I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV, so do your own research, because yes, you should. Actually, I tell you, do your own research anyways. And journal. Mm-hmm. Call lines are open tonight. The number is 213-233-3998. Or if you're across the pond in the UK, you can go to 44203-393. 2871. So I hope you are all having or had a lovely August 7th. And we are rapidly approaching August 8th, which we'll be talking about just a little bit here in a bit. And Lions Gate and what's going on in the world. Because, yeah, there's a lot going on in the world. I gotta tell you, 2020 bingo, I'd have lost. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't buy a bingo card this year because, yeah, I just wouldn't have made it. Nope, not at all. Nope. So, there's been a lot of stuff going on in 2020, not just here in the U.S., but kind of around the world. Astrologically, there's been a lot of stuff going on. I mean, chaos has actually been kind of the name of the game. And I'll talk more about that later, just chaos in general, because, yeah, chaos, it's real. But tomorrow, or August 8th, is the Lions Gate portal is open. And for those of you who are into astrology and astronomy, will know that on the 8th of August every year, Sirius rises. The star Sirius, not just serious stuff, but Sirius, the star, begins to rise, and the energy from Sirius is linking up with the sun, which is currently in Leo. And the two together create the Lion's Gate portal. And because of that particular alignment, and also the numerology of the double eights, so August 8th, it's a very supercharged day for manifesting abundance and dreaming big. Right now, I'm trying hard not to dream big, I have to tell you, personally. Mostly, I I just want to make it to the end of this year. Oof. That's a little goal. End of the year. It's been an adventure. Very much so. And for those of you just kind of wandering in, Brent Thomas is finishing up with Paranormal Portal, and Deb Varner. Deb is super cool, and she does her very, very best to give you guys good readings. Very, very good readings. So, with August 8th, being, that charmed numerology date, we've talked about numerology in the past just a bit. 8/8/2020 is considered, at least at the beginning of it, to be a lucky day. And so, just a little bit of understanding of the day can help you take advantage of the magic within it. And, there's... some people, I gotta tell you, so a little bit of a squirrel moment here, but some people really feel that astrology is junk science. Unfortunately, what they don't realize is that astrology has been around for a long time. Kind of like acupuncture, been around forever. And for something that's been around forever, if it didn't work, if it was all bunk, sorry about the train, would it still be around? Seriously. Stop and think about that for a moment. If astrology, horoscopes, star signs and all that stuff, if it wasn't real, if there wasn't some trueness to it, would it still exist? Or would society have said, you know what, this is bogus, we're moving on? So society, or people in general, I'm going to be really general there, so people in general, if they don't believe in something, they don't use it, they don't do it. Look at vaccinations. Those that don't believe in vaccinations, don't use them. Those that do, use them. So, okay, poor analogy. But it's the first thing that popped into my brain. I forgot to have the coffee. That's why. Sorry. At break, maybe I'll go get the coffee. Anyways. So yeah, if it was just a whole fallacy and fake, why is it still here? So, personally, I think astrology, they're both very real. I think equally real, just different schools of thought, different directions. Breathing is good. Coffee is good. Smudging is good. Yes, sage is my friend. So I lit some sage earlier for a friend of mine who's going through some tough times. I'm not going to name a name because I'm not going to name a name. But she's got trying to get through some relationship stuff that's toxic. So for those of you who have some positive energy and can think at her, that would be awesome. Because, when we're having a bad experience of any kind, we all need a little bit of help. And I have no problems helping folks. And if you need me to give a shout out, just say the word and I absolutely will. So Sirius, getting back to the astronomy bit, is a star of legends. It's a star that, when it's in ascendancy, has known to bestow wealth and honor, passion, creative talent, etc. And in ancient Egypt, the rising of Sirius was directly associated with the rising of the Nile River, which would then nourish the land and the crops and sustain life. So the Lion's Gate is a portal for accelerated ascension and major shifts on all levels. You're always creating your own reality, of course, but when the gate is open, everything moves a little bit faster with intensified energy. So if you're going to do a ritual to use the Lion's Gate energy. It will multiply your efforts and keep them burning until they have fully come to fruition. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but in some respects, 2020 has been kind of dragging along. It's full of stuff. Other respects, 2020 is screaming. Did you know school starts at the end of the month? At least for mini-me. Some people have already gone back to school. And some people won't go back to school until sometime in September. Others, it's just an adventure. And, yeah, it's an adventure. So, the Lion's Gate is in maximum power on the 8th day of the 8th month, or 8-8. And it activates that energetic power of 8-8, which is a numerology number. And in numerology, 8 embodies the balance and equalization in and across all realms. 8 brings shifts and changes that bring harmony and alignment. And when under the influence of 8, being willing to let go of things tips the scales out of balance, or let go of things that are tipping the scales out of balance, excuse me. And that's the key to success and peace. So far-reaching ideas, achievement, financial security, leadership, organization, and ambition are all expressions of the number 8 in vibration. Also, the infinity symbol looks a lot like the number 8 laying on its side. So the number 8 also represents limitless power and infinite immortality. So it's a symbol that flows forever without end, and it encompasses all going in and out in a continuous cycle within cycles. So 8 holds the same shape as our DNA structure 2 and stores codes that we can access, especially at times during like the Lion's Gate opening. So what do we do, you know? Hey, Suzanne. If I don't say hello out loud to you guys, it's just because I haven't said it out loud yet. Hi, everyone. So there's all sorts of rituals and such that you can do, and under for leading up to Lion's Gate and doing whatever ritual you might do. I mean, it's a kind of a big deal, and we'll get to that in a bit. But as far as I've got a couple different tabs open just so I can keep reading and researching here. So we're just trying to empower our greatest or highest purpose. Can't talk. I'm telling you, it's the coffee. So that ascension energy. I am going to Google it because I didn't do that earlier. Ascension energy. What is it? Wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff on here. Ascension. I like this. The article. Little clerp here. Or blurb. So Ascension, this is from the Nickerson Institute of Integrative Health Training. I may have to look that one up a little bit more. So basically, a lot of us have been experiencing an energetic change in the world. Oh man, I'm a little squirrely tonight, so I'm going to come back to this. The energetic change in the world has to do with some ascension, and I'll talk about ascension symptoms here in a moment. But I want to go back to the whole astronomy bit. And sorry about the squirrel moment, I promise. Lion's Gate is the energy from Leo the Lion, because the sun is in Leo, and with Sirius rising. Sirius has a whole lot of energy to it. And that energy channeling into us, or opening a portal, basically, and that the energy coming through. So Leo the Lion, yeah. Leo is the child of the sun, so that is a big deal too, and is the individualized expression of divine light. And Leo rules the heart and is filled with pride, a sense of purpose, generosity, and enduring passion for creating and expressing life in all forms. So, if you're going to step through the Lion's Gate, It is to awaken divinity within yourself and embody your goddess or god self. Um, Leo is a fire sign and infuses everything with fortified and resilient force. So just talking about Leo the lion. Leo rules the heart, teaching us to lead from the heart, motivate from the heart, and live from the heart. And you know what? That is something I think is really important. We need to lead from the heart. We need to motivate from the heart. And we need to live from the heart. So often we stop doing what we need to do, that our heart has been engaged in, and instead we let logic kind of take over things, and we overthink stuff, and we do things because other people want us to, or tell us we should do it, or we're trying to we get so wrapped up in our lives, if you will, that we forget to listen to our heart and our wants, because often those wants are needs that just aren't speaking very loud yet. And so, live from the heart. I like that. Leo's ruling planet, like I said, is the sun, which is the sun of our solar system. And Leo and the sun are both archetypes of self-importance and self-centeredness, but also in perfect proportion with the rest of creation. So the sun sustains life as we know it, and it is the god of light who faithfully rises every morning and represents the spirit center in each of us. So the Lion's Gate beckons us to enter a new dimension of living where our brilliance and the brilliance of all other beings can rise, be seen, shared, and fully received. If we're open and have the courage to cross the threshold, which is kind of a big deal, the Lion's Gate will pull us into divine alignment from which our true power can be accessed and used in all the ways we were created to shine. So, but you gotta live from the heart. I mean, just out of curiosity, sit down, have a conversation with yourself, and ask yourself, what are you doing today that makes your heart happy? That motivates your heart and causes you to commit to it completely. Are you leading from your heart in a way that is loving of yourself and those around you, and trying to help others grow? Or are you doing it from another place? I mean, those are really good things to stop and ask yourself. I mean, seriously, if you're not committed within your heart to doing whatever it is you're doing, then why are you doing it? If it's not feeding your heart and your soul, what caused you to take that step to be where you're at? So, yes, stop and think about that. Also, Leo and the sun are associated with the solar plexus chakra, which is the energy center that sits about 3 inches, or about 3 fingers, above your belly button. And it's the seat of your personal power. So the Lion's Gate opening is an invitation to accept and amplify your own power and use it in new ways. So a balanced solar plexus chakra manifests as self-confidence, a healthy self-control, and willpower. It directly correlates to prosperity and the entire cycle of manifestation. If you've been struggling with finances, you can use the energy, this energy portal, to guide your stream of thought in the direction of abundance and tap into the frequency and flow of money and resources. I'm going to show you guys a picture. Speaking of flow of resources, there's a dog on a chair trying to get comfortable. That's the funniest doggone thing ever. So sorry about the noise. There's the basil. Let's see. The Lion's Gate is a vortex, just a really significant and serious power. I mean, really, really, truly, there's a lot of energy there. And that solar plexus being engaged, and it can trigger issues around authority and your purpose in life. And it's easy to become aggressive and bossy right now, especially when the energetic center is overactive. And solar power can be like a punch to the stomach when unrestrained and in the absence of kindness. So act in and from love. There's no need to be afraid of your power to play small when you're following your heart and higher guidance. So seriously, stop and ask yourself, why are you doing what you're doing? Is it feeding your heart? Is it do you feel like you're in a place of love and harmony, or a place of trust? And it's because if you're not really trusting what's going on around you, are you coming at it? Are you seeing things through a loving lens, I guess, and not just loving like, oh, I gotta love others, but no, loving yourself, because sometimes we have to stop and sit down again, have this conversation with self and say, hey, self, I love you. Are we making the right choices to show that we really love ourselves? I mean, if you're not, if you don't make the choices and decisions that are going to affect yourself, and from a loving place, and will give you, cause harm to yourself later. I mean, are they really the right decisions? Are they really the right things that you need to do? So, to prepare for Lionsgate, what do? Well, meditation, that's a good thing. Meditation is always good. Because it gives you a chance to stop and sit back and really look inside as to what it is you're doing, and see what's out of whack, or what's in line, or what you might need to work on, or what you might need to let go of, or just a place to find peace and harmony within yourself. Because we don't have that enough. We don't find that peace and harmony within ourselves very often. Our society today almost demands that we live outside of the peace and harmony within self. Because, like Lucky in chat mentioned, she's been working 12, 14-hour days. Well, you know what? That is not harmony with self. That is exhausting. So if you work an 8-hour day and you have a 2-hour commute each way, that's 12 hours you're committing to your job every day. Does it satisfy you? Does it make you feel good? Or is it just straight up exhausting? Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. If it does, is that the right job? Is that the right commitment? Are you truly loving yourself if you're doing that? Are you supporting yourself? Now, some people do have the option. They get to ride a train for that length of time, so they're, instead of driving or trying to commute themselves. So, and, they have the opportunity to read books that are good for themselves, or meditate if you're taking a train or a bus or something, or a cab. Those are good things. So yeah, really, truly, what is it that you were committing to when you are driving that much, or away from home that much? A friend of mine is looking to rehome a dog for a friend of hers, because the family is out of the house 12 to 14 hours a day. The dog is home alone for 12 to 14 hours a day. That's in a kennel at home. That's that's not fair to anybody. So really stop and think about what it is that you're doing, and in a short term commitment, totally get it. Because sometimes you do need to make that short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain. Yes, that is real. Um, I had a job a number of years ago, and it really burned me out on the corporate world. But I was salaried and in a leadership position. And when I was given the job description, I was told 45-ish hours a week at that salary. It's like, all right, well, at that salary with the benefits and the stuff as a package, I guess that's okay. That's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. And when I first took over the job, I knew that there was going to be some extra time involved in trying to get sorted. Before I knew it, I was working 70 hours a week and only being paid for 30. Not a good investment of time. I'm not there anymore. So, where's your time going? Where are you investing your time? Because it's an investment of self. Anyways, we're to our first break, which is really, really quick. Isn't that crazy how time flies? And we shall be right back, right here with on those spaces between.
I, oh Lord, within the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. And just a quick reminder that the call lines are open. It's 213-233. I always forget the last four. 2871. And if you call in and you're on hold and I haven't noticed, say something in the chat room. Sorry, I'm trying. So tonight we're talking about Lionsgate and the energy because it's real. And it's in a way, with the way this year's been going, I have to tell you, it's been a little wild, a little crazy, a whole lot insane. Excuse me. Very, very insane. So, yeah, you know, as the energy starts to pour into the world, with the 8th, starting, like, Mary Bond is over in Australia, in the land down under. And, yeah, that energy is starting to pour out. So it should be an interesting 24 hours. Hopefully not overly interesting. I would be absolutely okay if the balance of 2020 would just be quiet. You know, just a little bit. So, yeah, the Lionsgate is just it's an alignment of stars, Sirius and our sun, and Leo, which is the sun is in the Leo constellation. So, yes, lots of energy floating around for the 8th. Yep. So, you know, with the 8th being of yes, interesting is not always good. Interesting sometimes is bad. Just like an adventure is not always good. Sometimes an adventure is bad. So deep cleansing breath, because I think we're all going to need it. So, yeah, the 8th is one of the luckiest days of the year, August 8th. So it's a good day for manifesting things. Like Elaine just signed an offer for a house. You know, the 8th has some really good energy, so I'm thinking happy thoughts for Elaine. Because, yes, it is a seller's market out there, not a buyer's market right now, in general. But the Lionsgate being open, you know, that's a lot of high frequency, high vibrational energies, along with the Syrian energies, are just hitting the earth. And yeah, manifesting should be going on. So you know, what do? You do a meditation and intention setting ritual. Give yourself 8 minutes, really work with that number 8. Clear your mind of any limiting thoughts, and focus on the unlimited potential that you could achieve. I mean, seriously, who puts limits on us? Is it other people? Or is it ourselves who puts a limit on us? Because are your own thoughts limiting you? Or are you just accepting at face value other people's limits that they put on you? So stop and think about that. Who puts the limits on you? Others for putting them out there? Or yourself for accepting them? So let yourself embrace the Leo energy and reach for the stars. After your meditation is done, write down your biggest, loftiest goal and some of the steps that you need to take. If you can find 8 steps to take, you're really embracing the number 8. Have a lovely day, Aussie. So yes, yeah, it's going to be fast and furious for the next couple months. Work with some crystals. Create a crystal grid. Crystal grids are a great way to channel your intention. And they're really good to connect the Earth's natural powers with the manifestation power, that's coming to us from the Lionsgate portal. A lot of energy, I'm telling you. Choose sunny looking crystals and stones, or clear gold colored crystals, that kind of thing, just to amplify your intention. Pyrite is good, Lemurian quartz, citrine, that kind of thing. sunstone. All of that. Really, really good stuff. You can do a ritual of some sort. You like tarot cards, which are sort of ritualistic. You could do an 8-card spread, candle magic, guided meditation. If you want to know what else you can do, Google's your friend. There are all sorts of rituals that you can follow out there. I did find one. This is a foreverconscious.com. It has one for basically smudge your area, whether you're using Palo Santo or sage or something else. You could, journal, a pen, crystals, timer, if you want to go for a full 8 minutes. That's real. Cleanse your aura with the smudge, the sage smoke. Real quickly, you say, I cleanse myself with light and loving energy. All energies that are no longer mine to carry are now leaving my body. I am light, I am free, I am whole, I am me. And you know what? That's actually a really good mantra to just do in general. Because, energies that are not yours to carry, let them go, man. They're going to drag you down. They're negative. Let it go. Let it go, let it go. Channel your inner Elsa and let that energy go. Be free, be whole, be you, not someone else. Everyone else is taken. Be yourself. And as you're doing it, say, my space is cleansed and protected. Only light and love may dwell here. It's a pretty basic statement or ritual statement when you're doing sage smoke. Get pretty comfortable. Place your hand over your heart chakra, which is right here in the middle where your heart is. Close your eyes. Imagine you're inhaling and exhaling through your heart. It's kind of a weird feeling if you stop and visualize it. And then hold your hand above your heart. Make circles counterclockwise. And as you're making the circles, imagine you're cleansing your heart energy. Do it for 1 or 2 minutes, or until you've made about 100 circles, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. If there's any sensations that you feel when it comes time to journal, make sure you write them down. Yes. Write them down. Anytime you're doing a ritual of any sort and you feel or encounter something, write it down. Because that's important. That's part of the ritual. It's part of the why you're doing it. But once you've gotten through the 100 counterclockwise, you're going to change direction and go clockwise. And as you do the circles, imagine you're opening and supercharging your heart chakra. See if you can feel the energy radiating from your heart, and experiment with making the circles bigger or wider, and repeat for 1 to 2 minutes or until you have about 100 circles. Shake your hand and repeat the process, but on your third eye, which is in the center of your forehead. Again, have your hand a few inches above your third eye, and begin by cleansing it, counterclockwise, 1 to 2 minutes or 100 or so, circles, and then, swap it around and go the other direction. So you're supercharging your third eye, and 1 to 2 minutes or about 100 revolutions. And then lay down, take your crystals, place one on your third eye and one on your heart. Lay there and meditate for at least 8 minutes. 10 minutes or longer is better. And as you meditate, try to clear your mind and your focus, and just focus really truly on the energies of the crystals, and let them sink into your body through your third eye and your heart chakra. So be aware. What is it you're picking up? And then as you come out of your meditation, place your crystals to the side, grab your journal, and write everything down. I say journal all the time, and I'm seriously. Journal. If anything you experienced, your thoughts, your feelings, if you asked your guides or deities or anything to give you a message, what did you receive? And then kind of free flow when you're writing in your journal. Just spit it all out. Don't structure it. Just throw it down. Don't filter. Don't worry about punctuation or anything like that. Just go for it. And then when you're done, reflect, read it. You know, read it and see what message did you get when you go back through and read it? Did something else come through? Do you need to make more notes? And then carry the crystals with you, because you've kind of tuned yourself to them for the period of time being. Sleep with them, that kind of thing. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, because water is real, or herbal tea. And yeah, it's just a really, really basic. I mean, rituals in general, people jump to the conclusion like, hey, I'm going to go do a ritual this weekend, or I'm going to go to this ritual this weekend. It's like, oh, it's a big production. You know, there's robes and cloths and candles and all this stuff going on. And in reality, it's a lot more basic than that. It's you don't have to have anything wild and crazy or fancy or anything like that for a ritual. It's just quick. And it doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to last, 2 or 3 hours. Most rituals are just really quick. Mr. Longbeard's in the house. We're trying to adjust the camera. Thank you, Lucky. She likes my hair. Wow, you're dark over there. You shine some light on things. I would turn it so it's going that way just a little bit. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Ooh, see how that looks.
Continue with your show.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, whatever it is you choose to do for Lionsgate, write it down. Write down your process. Write down what your goals were. You bumped it.
Oh gosh. Okay. Whatever.
So there, you guys can see broomsticks if I transition. So yeah, write it down. What did you want to achieve? Or what did you want to achieve? What did you, were you hoping to accomplish? Did you want a message and didn't get it? What were you trying to manifest for Lionsgate and the energy? I mean, have you heard of Lionsgate, Don?
No, it's is my microphone on? Oh, now it is.
Oh. Hey, there's Mr. Don.
There's a disturbance in the force.
Yeah.
No, I always thought Lionsgate was like a film production company somewhere.
Well, it is, but where do you think the name came from?
MGM?
No. Most of Hollywood has a lot to do with the metaphysical world.
I understand. I'm being facetious.
Okay.
Here.
Just making sure.
Goodness.
I can't. Sarcasm doesn't come through very well some days.
Oh, goodness.
Everybody says hi.
Hi,
So,
Mary
yeah.
Dawn.
When you're done with your rituals and you're setting your intentions and everything, just like I said, write it down, follow through, track the energies. Do you see something, or are you experiencing something that is showing that yes, the manifestation or the energy from the Lionsgate is coming through, or did you miss the energy and it just isn't resonating with you? Because you know what? Not everything resonates with everybody else. Truly. There are some things that are out there in the world of paganism that I just look at and take a deep cleansing breath and walk away from.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, I don't get it. So, you don't have to get everything. You don't have to understand everything. And if you have more questions about numerology, we talked about it once.
It's amazing what you can get people to do on a Saturday night.
That was wild. I could tell the number of people trying to do math on a Saturday night.
That was a great show.
It was a good show. We'll have to do that again. Maybe we'll find an expert on numerology. That might be more fun than me just kind of winging it.
That would be cool.
Yes, it would be cool.
Does anybody know any numerologists?
Yeah, putting it out there. We need a numerologist. I am trying to get a guest on, by the way, that can do Akashic readings.
Okay, cool.
I think that'd be fun.
Uh-huh.
Elaine liked the numerology. So, as I was doing some studying and research for Lionsgate, because interesting thing, I came across an article that talked about ascension symptoms. And I love these things because some of them are fun and some of them are, I don't know, they're just the things people put together in a list. But basically, as I've talked about in the past, I think we're at the end of an age. We're rapidly approaching, so Age of Aquarius is ending. We're ready to move on to the next one. The transition from one age to the next is rarely smooth. It is often turbulent, and things happen. And as we're going through 2020, I think a lot of people are experiencing some energy changes, energy shifts.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd personally just like to see 2021 come in, because then we can look back at 2020 as hindsight.
No, that's funny. I see what you did there.
Ah.
So yeah, it was there has been an interesting shift in energy. I think I've felt it. I'm seeing it with the people I spend time with at work, and the people I talk to regularly.
Well, that's because you work at a metaphysical shop.
Yes. But a lot of people come in, they're just looky-loos, they're tourists, they're like, woo, pretty rocks. And other times people come in, like today we had probably a dozen people come in and ask questions about Lionsgate and energy shifts. And
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So, but I think as we move forward through 2020, there's the adventure is going to continue. And, will some of it be rough and hard and horrible? The possibility is absolutely there. Because it is. Life is dirty and gritty, and there can be a bit of horribleness anywhere.
Life is gritty. Oh, so gritty.
Oh, my gosh.
I couldn't help that one.
No, that's perfect. That was good. Life is gritty. Oh, so gritty. Yeah. Losing track of my thought. But no, and life is also full of love and joy and fun and such.
Good night, Lucky.
Good night, Lucky. And good night, John Boy.
She is a toast.
She is toast. She wheat toast?
I don't know. Was she bread before she was toast?
She's sourdough.
Oh.
Rye bread. Sorry. Sorry, Lucky. I hope you have a good night. Sleep well.
Hi, Jody. Nice to see you.
Pretty and witty and wise. Yeah, so we are the sum of everything. There is life is just gritty. It's an adventure. There's dirt, there's grime, there's shiny stuff, and just you gotta roll with it, and don't get so wrapped up in the potential negatives of it that you can't move forward. That we can't be so afraid of what could happen negatively that we stop and prevent ourselves from allowing the positive things from happening. And so, yeah, if there's some anxiety-causing stuff coming up, which there will be because that's part of life, we can't let it bring us down. And so, just on that note, take a deep cleansing breath and ground it out. Yep.
This too shall pass.
It will pass. maybe like a kidney stone, but it'll pass.
Oh my. Oh no.
Yeah. It
Wow.
could, yeah. So, anyways, ascension symptoms.
Yes, let's get back to that.
Yes, but no, like, there's a reason for it because a lot of people are experiencing the energetic shift that's happening in 2020. I think 2020 is an energetic shift.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what gear we're in yet, but it's a shift.
We're trying to get out of Granny Low.
Um, it's a rookie driver. That's all there is to it.
Oh look, they're taking another left.
Exactly, and it's pretty normal that the energy is fluxing at any given point. So yeah, we're going to talk about ascension symptoms. So
wait a minute. Let
Yeah.
me interrupt.
Mhm.
When does the age of Leo come roaring in? When is that? When is the the time period? When does it start shifting in? It's obviously shifting in. How long is it going to take to shift in? And can we get it over with, please?
Well,
It's probably another 100 years, isn't it?
let's see. So
Because everybody talks about, oh, we're shifting from the age of Aquarius to the age of Leo. Well, when? When? We've been hearing it since the 60s.
right. Oh, so the Aquarian age started on February 4th, 1962.
Oh.
So I know when it started.
So how long are these zodiacal type ages to go? Are they in cycles of
I don't know.
well, you're killing me here.
So I don't know.
So what exactly does that mean anyhow? Does that mean that Leo takes the primary position in the constellation? And what exactly does that mean, the age of Leo?
Why do you think it's the age of Leo?
What?
Why is it the age of Leo?
Well, whatever it is, shifting out of the age of Aquarius. I don't know. See, that's just my question.
So
D says it took 2,000 years to shift from Pisces.
yeah.
So, good God!
So yeah, it's I think it depends on who you talk to. I'm looking up. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have this answer.
You have to have these answers. These are questions.
Hey, I'm not an astronomist.
Just an astronomist. You're an astronomist.
I'm not an astronomist.
An astronomer.
I'm not that either.
Obviously. Justin says 2166, 2,166 years roughly. So I don't understand then if the age of Aquarius started in 62. Why the hell are we talking about? Maybe we're just actually getting settled into the age of Aquarius, and that's what it is. But let's talk about earthly age. Because, look at Rome,
Mhm.
Look at Rome. It came, it went. The Mongols, it came, it went. The Egyptians, it came, it went. So, we're talking roughly I don't know, less than 1,000 years.
Yeah.
26,000 divided by 12.
You want me to do math?
No, that's what our chat room's for. He's already done the math.
Well, he said 26,000 divided by 12.
Yeah, which
Oh,
is 2,166.
years. Okay.
See, Justin's kind of good with math, I guess.
Yay, Justin. You're hired.
You get a gold star.
So, age of Pisces followed by age of Aquarius. Now after age of Aquarius, age of Capricorn.
Oh, when? What? Okay, what? Sorry, back up again. Sorry, say that again.
This is the retrograde progression of the 12 zodiacal signs is why the age of Pisces is followed by the age of Aquarius, and after age of Aquarius is age of Capricorn.
I hope I'm not alive then.
Why?
Because 1, I'm a Capricorn. 2, I know how bullheaded I am.
Are you saying you're stubborn?
Uh-uh.
So, Age of Capricorn supposedly starts approximately 4000 CE.
Oh, so we got a long time to go. This is going to be a painful thing.
I guess so.
So, but but we have to determine, I think what we have to determine is what are we considering an age? Are we considering modern age? What is modern age? How long does modern age last until we hit our,
Time out.
too far?
We're going to break.
Okay, fine.
While you're going to break, stop and ask yourself, what zodiac was Jesus? Google gives you all sorts of random things. We'll be right back, guys. I promise. He's a Pisces.
That's nice.
Why is he a Pisces?
Because he couldn't make a damn decision.
Oh, it's because they're fishing the loaves of bread.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I thought we were going to break. Oh,
We
it's
are going
top
to
of the
break.
hour, so there's no bumper. Oh, there it is.
See you guys. No, you were muted.
I'm
all
still mute.
all of that was muted.
Oh no. Well, then I take it all back.
Don was jamming out to Sir Nerd a lot. You guys didn't miss much. And MC who?
MC Chris.
MC
And Schaefer the Dark Lord.
Schaefer the Dark Lord.
Yes.
I just don't even. I can't. I'm not sure what. You're weird. That's all I know. So, no, Elaine, you didn't lose your hearing. I just lost my voice. No, I'm kidding. We're all fine. So, ascension symptoms. We're getting back to that. I promise. I promise.
Sorry, I got off on that whole age thing.
No. It's fine because I say it every so often. I just have been told it's the end of the age. I know it's the end of the age.
Definition of what age under the age of Aquarius, and if Justin's math is correct, we've got another 2,100 years to look forward to this kind of crap.
I don't know. I don't know.
And thank you for your kind words about Capricorn men, because I happen.
Oh dear. We're going back to the ascension symptoms now.
Yes, go ahead.
So, first one. The first one is feeling as though you are in a pressure cooker or intense energy. Feeling stress. Remember, you are adjusting to a higher vibration, and you will eventually adjust. Old patterns, behaviors, and beliefs are also being pushed to the surface. There's a lot going inside of you. This is why you should journal everything.
Well, and it's a lot of it speaks to an awakening, a spiritual awakening in people. It speaks to all these things that you've been taught that just don't make sense, and your self is coming out. You're allowing your real self to start questioning these things, and you're getting that shift on, and you're getting settled into yourself, and you can start asking the questions and adventuring into those spaces between.
But I see what you did there. It's twice now.
I know. I'm damn good tonight.
You're
But I mean, the pressure cooker thing, and the real you and these things coming out makes perfect sense of the consciousness evolving.
Yes. So the next one, a feeling of disorientation, of not knowing where you are, a loss of sense of place. You're not in 3D anymore, as you've moved or in the process of moving to the higher realms. So in a way, it's a little bit like, to me, it reminds me of deja vu, a little bit, because there are times when I've had deja vu and it's very disorienting, because or an series of events happening differently than the disconnect is there. I don't feel like it's a step, and so that whole sense of place, I have lost something. I'm just out of sync with everything around me. Let's see. The next one, unusual aches and pains throughout different parts of your body. You're purifying and releasing blocked energy, vibrating at 3D while you're vibrating at a higher dimension. I thought that was getting old, but no, sure, okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's preferable to getting old.
Right? Will some of this go away? Is that what you're saying? I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm ready to flush it. Yeah. Waking up at night between 2 and 4. Much is going on in your dream state. You can't be awake for long. This is also the cleansing and releasing hour. So, here's the thing. If you wake up between 2 and 4, if you've been dreaming, you should probably write the dreams down, because that's what you should do. But if you choose not to write the dreams down, that's fine. You don't have to. But you probably shouldn't pick up your phone and read. You should probably just try to focus on going back to sleep, or else you're going to mess yourself up. It's really hard, though, speaking from experience, to go ahead and let go and try to go back to sleep, because there's just some times when I know my own brain just won't shut up, and it's frustrating. It's vexing. Memory loss. I thought that was just getting older too.
Wow.
All right. So memory loss. It's a great abundance of short-term memory loss and only vague remembrances of your past. You are in more than one dimension at a time, and going back and forth is part of the transition. So you're experiencing the disconnect. Also, your past is part of the old, and the old is forever gone. Being in the now is the way of the new world. Oh, so maybe I'm not getting old. I'm just starting to ascend. Is that what that is?
that kind of makes sense because I was just thinking that myself. It's like, as we age, because I know that when I was younger, I was more of an idealist, and I, had these, very progressive thoughts, and then I started to, start working when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, and I learned how to do that, and I built my work ethic, and this kind of that thing. And then, as the time progressed, I became a little more jaded, I guess, is in a way. And I thought, what? And yet it gets taken away from me, And I'm not just talking about work, but I mean, like monetary work. I trade my hours for a certain amount of money an hour. I'm talking about, the things I do personally. People work all their lives to buy a house, and something happens and they lose that house, or they have a car and somebody runs a red light and smashes the car. It's these losses, and we kind of get to the point it's not anything I'm doing. Now sometimes it may be something you're doing, and it may be your fault. Just face it and move on. But you start experiencing these losses of things you've worked for and blood, sweat, and tears, and you start to get tired of losing these things, and so you start to shift in that way. And I seem to have lost my train of thought.
You're the memory loss.
Memory loss. Yeah. See, I lost my train of thought. But it's not just memory loss either, though. It's but you start to avoid ways, and you put those thoughts behind you, and you consciously leave them there. Now, also, this brings into this whole thing about, the Mandela effect kind of thing. You know that it used to be this, but now it's this, and it just doesn't make sense to you because you don't remember it being this, you remember it being that. And it's always been that. And then all of a sudden things changed. Really interesting point about the book of 1984 by George Orwell, where...
By the way, a plan. It wasn't supposed to be a plan.
So, and that's the weird thing, though, because back in 1948, which I find it kind of funny that he wrote it in 1948 about 1984. All he did was flip those two. Now, they talk about the war in Eurasia. And then later in the movie, it switches to East Asia. And so these things don't fit anymore. But it was Eurasia, not East Asia. That 2 + 2 is 4, but they're programming you to say 2 + 2 is 5 into you. And I don't want to get too conspiracy here, but it speaks to that memory. I have this memory. I have an ancient memory. I have a past life memory, and I know it's true. And now we're evolving into this, and we're remembering these things. And so we're forgetting those newer memories, the past year, or two-term memories kicking back in. And you're remembering that that's not the way things work. So, sorry.
Deb. No, you're fine.
Hi, Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Hope you had a good show.
Sounded good from what I heard.
I didn't hear any of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you're a responsible adult and you go to work.
Memory problems.
Yep.
Anyhow.
So number 6 is seeing and hearing things. You're experiencing different dimensions as you transition, all according to how sensitive you are and how you are wired. So you may be seeing things you didn't see before, hearing things you didn't hear before. So what if, okay, my dad has always had a theory on Bigfoot. His theory is that Bigfoot is from a different dimension and just happens to get sucked through a portal, and then Bigfoot's here and he's like, WTF, this is not what I planned on doing today. And so some people those other dimensions or hear things from those other dimensions.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to that. I mean, like Deb, for instance, Deb's a good example right here.
Yeah.
Deb taps into the spirit realm just a bit and listens to her spirit guides. And gives people really awesome advice. And, that's definitely seeing things or hearing things. Although I'm pretty sure my spirit guides facepalm regularly.
Mine slapped me in the back of the head. I have 3 of them. Huh?
Gibbs style, huh?
Gibbs style, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, but yeah, that seeing and hearing things are just they're there. They may be a half second behind us or a half second before, or it's I don't know. They're there. So the next one is loss of identity. You try to access the old you, kind of like what you were just talking about, but it's no longer there. You may not know who you are looking at in the mirror. You have cleared much of your old patterns and are now embodying much more light in a simpler, more purified, divine you. All is in order, and you are okay with it. I've noticed this myself every so often. I don't know if it's because I'm older now and I'm looking in the mirror and my mind's eye, my image of me is much different than the real me. And I think we all go through that just a little bit, but especially as we're transitioning. So say you're gaining weight or losing weight, you're pregnant, you're not pregnant, you're sick, you're not sick, what's in your mind's eye is the old you, if you will. And the new you, the real you, or the you today, is what you actually see in the mirror. And sometimes it takes a little bit to reconcile those two things.
I think that's quite right, because who you are today is not who you were yesterday, and it's a constant evolution. And one day, and I've experienced that. One day you just get out of the shower and you go to look at yourself in the mirror and brush your hair or something, and you just look up and you go, one common thing is, when did I get so old? Or where did that gray hair come from? Or who is this person? I'm starting to sound like a Talking Heads song. David Byrne, Talking Heads. But it's true. It's, who am I? Why? What happened here? What's changed? Am I better? Am I worse? It's the constant self
evolution
inventory, personal inventory. And sometimes we forget to do it, and we forget who we are, and we go, okay, this new thing's come up and I'm not that person anymore. Move on. It's like when I talk about breaking the programming from my youth. I broke that programming, and now I'm seeing my evolution. Instead of seeing who I was, I'm seeing who I'm becoming.
Yes, and it's hard to reconcile that sometimes.
Sometimes it is.
So, the next one. You may feel as though someone is talking, but it's not you. This is our natural defense mechanism of survival when we're under acute stress or feeling traumatized or out of control. Your body is going through a lot, and you may not want to be in it. Let's see. This could be a way of easing through the transition process, and you don't necessarily need to experience what your body is going through. Generally, it's a short-term thing, and it does pass. So, that out of body, or that. So think of like a traumatic situation, car accident, any of these stupid riots. I'm not saying the message or the reason behind them is stupid. It's just the response and the way people are acting. People are extremists all over the place. But people who are experiencing negativity or the fear is a big deal. It's like you are not there anymore. Yeah, out of body. Think about it. If a bear was chasing you, long before your brain catches up and says, "What the heck is going on? Get out of here!" You're just because your logic isn't. It takes a little bit to kick in, or maybe Bigfoot's chasing you. I don't know. So yeah, just that out of body or that disconnect. Yeah, that's real. I've experienced it, and it's disconcerting, to say the least. It does pass quickly, though. Periods of deep sleep. You're resting from the acclimating and integrating, as well as building up for the next phase. So think about it. As you're transitioning from one frequency to the next, it's probably exhausting. There's a lot of energy required to the next. Generally, if you're going up in frequency, it requires more energy. If you're going down, you're losing energy. So, yeah, just, stop and think about it. What's listed? Odds are good there's a reason why. Maybe you're not sleeping well. Maybe you're dealing with something and subconsciously that you didn't realize that you were dealing with. The next one is heightened sensitivities to your surroundings. Crowds, noise, foods, TV, other human voices, and various other stimulations are barely tolerable. You also overwhelm very easily and become very easily overstimulated. You are tuning up. This too shall pass. That or you're hungover. I don't know. But yeah, sometimes I can tell when I'm done. Being around people, being around crowds, dealing with stuff. Or I wake up in the morning and I know that this is not a good day to go any place where there's a lot of people. Because the filter is off.
Misanthrope.
So, and yeah, it's vexing sometimes. The next one I can identify with, though. Maybe you don't feel like doing anything. You're in a rest period or rebooting. Your body knows what it needs. In addition, when you begin reaching the higher realms, doing and making things happen becomes obsolete as the new energy scheme receiving, creating, self-care, and nurturing. Ask the universe to bring you what you want while you're enjoying yourself and having fun. So sometimes you do need to take a break. Whether when you're working on yourself or emotionally, physically, spiritually, sometimes you need to stop and just take a break. Maybe you've been pushing yourself too hard. You do too many projects. Yeah, overextend yourself. Sometimes stop, time out. You need a break, and we're not going to do this anymore for X period of time. You need to decompress. You may have an intolerance for lower vibrational things, reflected in conversations, attitudes, societal structures, healing modalities, etc. They may actually make you feel sick inside, since you're at a different or higher vibration and your energies are no longer in alignment. You're being put and to create in the new. So think about it. If you've gone through a spiritual transition and in your elevated spiritually, you're grown. The people that haven't grown with you or at the same speed, how much patience do you have them? It's like an maybe you had a messy breakup and you've moved on and grown and you're more mature, and then you go to, like I did in high school, you're like, OMG, you're still, exactly. Yeah. Oh, you're the high school quarterback. You're 40 and you still think you're the high school quarterback, Oh, great, you were the homecoming queen. Now you've got wrinkles and sags, and so think about it. You don't have the same patience or tolerance for those people that just haven't matured or grown.
Yeah.
You may have a loss or desire for food, since your body is adjusting to a different state of being. A part of you may not want to be here anymore in this old you. You may be ready to move on to that next thing. This is probably something more I've seen in elderly or those who are with long-term illness, and they've released.
They're just tired.
And they're ready to release the mortal coil and move on. Move on to the next thing, or that next level, or that next energy. You may see a sudden disappearance of friends, activities, habits, jobs, residences, etc. You're evolving beyond what you used to be. Those people and surroundings no longer match your vibration. The new vibration will arrive soon. You'll feel so much better. I mean, think about it. A good example is someone who's an alcoholic moves on. They're just going to be a recovering alcoholic, and they stop drinking. You know what? You're not going to the bar anymore. You don't need to be hanging around all the bar flies anymore. The people who are drinking, those habits just don't do it for you anymore. You've grown beyond that. And those people who have not grown, you just aren't for them anymore. And you're just ready to move on. The next one is you absolutely cannot do certain things anymore. When you try to do your usual routine and activities, it feels downright awful. You're evolving beyond what you used to be, and these people and surroundings are no longer match your vibration. All I'm going to do is tying my shoes sometimes. I just can't do that sometimes.
Yeah, I moved beyond that.
I've moved beyond tying my shoes.
I now
slide my
just
sneakers on.
I just get slip-ons or zippers on my boots. I'm done tying my shoes. I've been done that. That's been like years.
Yeah. So, there's just some things you can't do anymore as you're moving on, possibly getting older, and some of that is you just physically can't anymore.
Right.
You just can't. Days of extreme fatigue. So I could see the extreme fatigue, especially if you're doing a lot of meditating or fasting, as your body loses that.
Can I lose some density, please?
Yeah, lose some density. It can be fatiguing. Or maybe you need to eat often along with what feels like attacks of low blood sugar. There may be weight gain, especially in the abdominal area, a craving for protein. Maybe you're requiring an enormous amount of fuel for the ascension process. Weight gain with an inability to is very typical. Your body knows what it's doing. In that case, I must be just ready to elevate to a very high plane. I have to say, Mini-Me, has been eating, and in the process she her face is rounding out just a bit, just about to probably sprout up again, which is frustrating because that kid grows so fast anyways, and clothes are not cheap. Hey, Mr. Don, you should talk for like 2 minutes.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know where you're going with that, but I was just thinking about the whole barfly thing and stuff like that. And the last time I really went to a bar, well, I was with my friend Mike, but I was bored. I was bored with my buddy Mike, and me and Mike we're still friends. I just haven't seen him in a long, long time or talked to him. But we were, somebody said Cookie. I think Cookie said something about I'd rather sit around a campfire than a bar, and yet it's just no fun anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm when I used to go into a crowd and just not even know anybody and still just have fun. Now I just go into the crowd to watch other people. I'm not interacting with them on the same level anymore. It's just not fun anymore. I have to, my new reality, obviously. So anyhow, I don't need Paisley thing.
Well, she often when children eat, start their appetite increases. They put on a little bit of weight. Their faces get a little rounder. They get a little extra weight through the tummy or the butt. That kind of thing. And then they're basically storing up energy because before you know it, they've grown 2 inches, and any of the extra baby fat, if you will, has gone. And they're lean and they're tall, and you're like, we have to go shopping again? We just bought you clothes. Yeah, so that's basically where I was at. Because according to this, a little bit because you're about to grow upwards. I'll be really tall someday, apparently. I'm going to wait for the next one because, hey, it's our last break already.
Wow.
Tonight is just flying back towards the Lion's Gate.
Oh, where's the music? You said it was a break. Oh, there it is.
You're ahead of things.
In the sun, so mote it be this thou forever does. Sisters of the shining moon, heaven, earth, and sea, I call upon you in this hour, bring magic unto me.
Oh, the mic's live, isn't it?
Brothers,
Damn
all
it.
the cauldron cry, singeth unto me the songs of Mother Goddess and the Father in the tree.
Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild. We're off adventuring into the spaces between. Hope you're all having a lovely Friday night, Saturday morning, or whenever you're listening.
Maybe next week.
Maybe next week. So yeah.
Nessie's already well into tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. This is Marie. Marie Bond.
Mary Bond, yep.
Yeah. Aussie Tiger. Same kind of thing. Isn't it crazy? They already know the news for today or tomorrow.
I know, huh?
Yep.
So what about them lotto numbers?
Right?
Come on, Biff.
Exactly. All right. So we are talking about, ascension symptoms. Just because I kind of find some of these, I don't know, I think these articles are fun. So, and I'm weird and I get it. And so, yeah. So the next one, experiencing emotional ups and downs, weeping. Our emotions are our outlet for release, and we're releasing a lot. I thought that was just teenage angst with girls.
I'm sorry, I missed that whole thing. I'm trying to translate something in chat, but I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Experiencing emotional ups and downs or weeping. Our emotions are our outlet for release, and we are releasing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And teenage angst in girls. I had sisters. I know this one, actually.
I have one sister, and she's 7 years younger.
Mm.
Missed it.
Did you really?
Yes.
That's not fair.
No, yes. I missed it, like, in the good way, not I missed it like, her growing up. I was able to avoid that crap.
Yeah. So the next one is a wanting to go home, as if everything is over and you don't belong here anymore. So we're returning to the source.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is over, but many of us are seen to experience and create the new world. Also, our old plans for coming have also been completed. So you ever just want to go home? I mean, the stereotypical home, or what it was that you remember home to be like, because often it seems like what we remember and the reality of it are two different things. There's a phrase that you can't go home, or you can't go back to home, or something like that. Basically, it means that once you've left home, you really can't go back because things are changed. It's no longer home for you, basically.
Every time something like that comes up, I think of the movie Failure to Launch.
Right.
They make his bedroom into a naked room. Don't want to go home.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you like leave home, like when you're like 16, 17, 18, whenever that is, and you can never really go home again, because you're right, it's not the same thing. You went out and you experienced your life, or you experienced some life, I should say, and if you have an issue and you end up going home, quote unquote, it's just not the same place, and you're not going to be happy there.
It's like after you've moved out once,
you can't.
it's really hard to move back in with your parents.
Definitely.
I know someone, she moved out, had a relationship, had a child, had to go back home for a little bit, and her parents gave her an 8:30 curfew. And she had a job that wouldn't let her, she had to be out later than that. They're like, well, you need a different job. She's like, excuse me.
I'm not 12.
Right. So, yeah.
Not only that, but I own my car.
And I'm a mom. I have my child's at daycare. I have to pay for it. So, yeah, just yeah, that going home is different. Yes. So, that feeling that you're going insane or must be developing a mental illness of some sort. You're rapidly experiencing several dimensions and openings. Basically, much is available to you now, and you're just not used to it. So your awareness has been heightened, and your barriers are gone. This will pass, and you will again feel like you're okay and you're at home, because this will become your new home. But yeah, um, I've done this. I feel like I'm just absolutely losing my ever-loving mind. Um, Maybe I am losing my mind, but that's a different show. But so think about it. Here we're accepting. A lot of y'all are from Truth Frequency Radio. Some of you are from Paranormal Portal. Some of you have come here just in talking to me personally. Some of you have accidentally stumbled upon the spaces between, because YouTube said you should come check me out, whatever. Well, so think about it. If you were one of the quote unquote normals who didn't believe in the paranormal at all, and you suddenly had a ghost in your world and were being haunted, and logic dictates that ghosts, or logic in your world dictates that ghosts don't exist, but yet your slippers are sliding across the floor and there's nothing there making them slide, or the lights keep turning on and off, or whatever, you would probably feel like you're losing your mind. Or maybe little people, or the Fae, or Bigfoot, or any of that. If you think you're seeing things or experiencing things that are not there, yeah, you would think you're going insane. That's kind of a normal reaction to stuff that you didn't think was possible. But hey, guess what? It is. Accept it. Take a deep breath and stop having the anxiety and panic. Because that's the next one, anxiety and panic. Your ego is losing much of itself and is afraid. Your system is on overload. Things are happening that you may not understand. You're also losing behavior patterns of the lower vibrations that you've developed for survival. So this may make you feel, vulnerable and powerless. So those patterns and behaviors you're losing are not needed as you move to the next realm. And this too shall pass. And eventually you'll feel that safety and unity. So yeah, basically, if you are seeing things you've never seen before, you either have to accept that maybe you don't know everything and there are things out there you didn't believe in, and just take the deep cleansing breath and drink the Kool-Aid. You'll be fine. This will pass. Your new normal. I mean, anybody who's embracing a pagan path and they've never done that before, they're going to see and experience things that they just didn't see and experience before. And yes, it can cause some anxiety. Absolutely. Depression's the next one. So the outer world may not be in alignment with the new, higher vibrational you. It doesn't always feel so good out there. You're also releasing that lower, darker energy that you're just seeing them through. Hang in there. So basically, if you've gone through some therapy, you're doing your shadow work, and you're letting go of your childhood trauma. Maybe that's going to cause some depression. It's okay. It really is. This too shall pass, Mostly, you're going to want to take a few deep breaths and breathe through it. And you will be okay. The next one is vivid, wild, and sometimes violent dreams. You may be releasing many, many lifetimes of lower vibrational energy. Many are now reporting that they are experiencing beautiful dreams. So your dream state will eventually improve and you will enjoy it again. Some experience this releasing while awake. And because, daydreams are real. You may be experiencing violent daydreams. You're experiencing that deja vu, or that feeling of doing something, before that is not now, and it makes no sense that it's not now because it should be now, but it's not now, and you're just confused and depressed and anxiety. And
so are you telling me it's okay to have daydreams about choking the little living shit out of little idiots? It's okay to have the daydream but not act on it?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Acting on some of that is not okay. um, yeah, Mary Bond, you're right. Sometimes you have to accept things and not react to it. It's hard.
Hmm.
Very hard. Night sweats, hot flashes. Maybe your body is heating up as it burns off residue.
Okay.
I got some residue to burn off. I'm having the night sweats and the hot flashes.
Oh my.
Doctor said it's perimenopause. I would like to get rid of the residue. I'm just saying. Maybe your plans suddenly change midstream and go in a completely different direction. Maybe your soul is balancing out your energy. It usually feels great in this new direction as your soul knows more than you do. It's breaking your rut in choices and vibrations. So, yeah. This is you get in the habit of going to, all right, for sake of argument, same restaurant. You go to the same restaurant all the time. And you eat the same food all the time. And then for some reason, maybe they're closed and you have to go to a different restaurant. And you go to the different restaurant and you find that the food's fabulous and you have a great experience. And it's like, woohoo, now suddenly I know that there's 2 restaurants that I like instead of just the same one. So there's just, sometimes you have to step out of the rut. You have to make the change. And it can be hard getting out of the rut, but you'll feel better for it.
Yeah, experiencing something new to catch that new energy. It's like, we know that, there's Pizza Hut and there's Domino's and then there's Papa Murphy's, which in my opinion, is that step up, because it's fresh and it's, and with these other places it's canned and that kind of thing. And then you go have Second Street Pizza and you go, oh.
Yeah, so Second Avenue Pizza here, guys. These pizzas.
These pizzas are insane.
So, I think they have what? They have a medium? Do they have a large? Or do they just come in and they call it a medium? A medium is like
It's
10 inches around. 12 inches,
inches, yeah.
okay. So, the taco pizza
oh my god, that thing was huge.
is 6 inches tall.
Yeah, it is.
6 inches tall. They cannot close the box on the pizza
On the pizza.
at all.
And the Carolyn. Oh my god, that thing was awesome.
This is some fabulous pizza, folks.
And it does literally take like 35 to 40 minutes to freaking cook the things.
Oh yeah, it's because
There's so many
they're
toppings
6
on
inches tall.
it. Oh my god.
So, you go out to eat, you're like, it's a medium pizza. How many pieces of pizza are a medium pizza? They say 6. You're like, wow, well, we teenagers, let's get 2. Okay.
$70 later.
You're like, those are expensive pizzas for 2. And then you find out you're eating pizza for 5 days because no one can eat more than a single slice of pizza, including the teenagers, which is unheard of because teenagers eat whole pizzas. No, these teenage boys can only eat a slice. So yeah, go to the new restaurant. It'll feel great.
Yeah, try those new things. You've
Yeah.
got to expand your boundaries.
If you don't try the new things, how are you going to know if you like them or not?
In Mother Russia, you don't try new things try you.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. Yeah. So the last one here is you have created a situation that seems like your worst nightmare with many worst nightmare aspects to it. Maybe your soul is guiding you into stretching into aspects of yourself where you were lacking or into toning down aspects where you had an overabundance. Your energy is just balancing itself. Finding your way to peace through this situation is the test that you have set up for yourself. This is your journey and your soul would not have set it up for you if you weren't ready. You're the one who finds your way out and you will. Looking back, you'll have gratitude for the experience and be a different person. Okay, this is one of those things. Journal the experience. There's going to be a lot of lessons in there that you're not necessarily going to soak up on the first time around. You're going to want to go back and review that a few times and then come back to it again. Because, if you don't, journal as you're going through the journal all the time, you may not notice the ascension symptoms. You may just be feeling...
Journal all the time, journal all the time, journal all the time. Sorry.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So, yeah. If you're not journaling your experiences as you're especially in the next 6 months. Sorry, guys. Let's call it the next 12 months. I think the next 12 months are going to be interesting. So, journal it. Because if you're going through an ascension process of self and you're journaling it, you may be able to go back and realize that's what it was. You were feeling angsty and frustrated and just at a loss. And you're reading through your notes and everything as you're and you're like, that's what that is. And suddenly that anxiety eases, that frustration eases, and you're like, oh.
It's those aha moments.
And sometimes those aha moments are not big, bold things. Sometimes they're just a little quiet.
Just a little 5-watt bulb going, oh, I knew that.
Yeah. So yeah, just
moose sausage.
I saw that. I wasn't sure what everybody else is talking about, but yeah, moose.
Bring
sausage.
me squirrel and moose.
So, yeah, Don, have you experienced much of that? The whole list. There's 25 of them here. Holy cow!
Oh my goodness! Much of what? What should you've
the
mentioned
ascension?
So far?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ascension symptoms.
actually, now that it's being pointed out, it's like yes, check, double check. I think the destruction. I won't say I'm not an egotistical bastard because I can be, but by destroying my ego in my younger, when my mid-20s, it really showed me some things, and then I was able to move on from there. So yeah, I mean, I've noticed a lot of those things, and as I've said, there's the Mandela effect. There's the getting up in the morning and go, who am I? When did this happen? Putting away those childish thoughts and emotions and moving on and becoming an adult, becoming that elder, not an elder, but an elder thinker, somebody who thinks in an older way and can remember the old things and the old ways. And we've not always done it this way. It's been done this way. And because of this and that, we do it this way now. But this way was still good. So yeah, a lot of those, absolutely. You bought ice cream the other day.
Yes, there's ice cream. And there's rhubarb cobbler.
Oh, rhubarb?
Rhubarb and berry. So
What
rhubarb.
berry? What berry?
It's the berry mix, so strawberry, raspberry, and blackberry. So, rhubarb, according to Mini-Me.
Anyhow.
So yeah, as you're experiencing the next several months, especially here in the U.S., there's going to be some political turmoil.
No way.
And as a result, there's going to be some political headaches. I suggest turning off your commercials now.
Yeah.
They're just going to get worse. This is probably the worst election cycle I've ever encountered. And I was alive when Nixon was in office. So yeah, I was. But it's just, take several deep cleansing breaths, journal things. You'll see some patterns, you'll see some things going on, and accept that a lot of you won't have control over most of it, probably. And if you are going through stuff and you're just like, what am I doing? And it's okay, accept that you don't have control over everything. Find a way to love yourself even though you don't have control over it and you wish you did, and it's making you not feel very good, because some of the stuff we're going to see in the next 6 to 9 months is not going to make us feel good.
You're going to have to make some hard decisions. And you're going to not like some of those decisions. And you're just going to have to suck it up and do what's right for you. And, like I said, you may not like what you've come to determine is what you need to do. So.
And so I feel like we've gotten a little bit away from, talking about pagan stuff, but at the same time, We haven't because
Right.
for me, accepting and telling the world that yes, I am pagan and embracing that more, I gotta tell you, it's been freeing. It's been I I don't know, just I feel lighter. I feel more open. I'm more accepting of myself. And that's been pretty freaking awesome. It's just number 12, a lower lower or an intolerance for lower vibrational things. And just people who are
God, those freaking idiots.
and they come in all sorts of shapes, sizes, colors, and spiritual backgrounds. The ones that just don't let go of their dogma.
Yeah, they tenaciously chew on it like a pit bull on a bone.
Yeah, so, and I've experienced the loss of, friends and activities and habits just because I just don't feel connected to those anymore.
Yeah, because they're vibrating at a different frequency, whether it be, well, and I would say that you don't resonate with those people anymore because you're not on that lower vibration, and you're moving towards those people that move at that higher vibration. Mm-hmm. So you're starting to really understand what those thoughts are. That's like this meeting we've got coming up. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're done vibrating there. Now you're moving up to this step. You're moving up the step, and you're looking at these people that are offering you something, and you've got to figure out if you want to take it or not. You need to. And so you need to up your vibration to match that.
But there's still some fear of that,
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, so everybody talks about the fears. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of, there's a whole bunch of them. But the one hardly anybody ever talks about is the fear of success.
Yeah.
Because often we're afraid to succeed.
Well, that's because we don't know what it really means. Mm-hmm. A lot of us never learned about money. A lot of us never learned about, budgeting. We've never learned about this kind of stuff. And
we know what failure feels like.
Yeah.
We know what it looks like. We've experienced it. And it's familiar, And so success is often unfamiliar. It's strange and unknown. So, yeah.
So with that idea, you pitched an idea to Chris a year and a half ago now, and
high
you
on
pitched
NyQuil.
it to him. Doesn't matter. So you're high on NyQuil. You laying in bed and go, hey, what about this? And Chris comes back like 12 hours later and says, when do you want to start? And so now you have a show. Did you ever think that you would be doing a live show or even whatever, and people would be listening to your points and ideas? Because Brent and I just went through this just 3 weeks ago, and we went to Coloma, and we went through meeting the people that listen to us. Some people.
I think that'd be funner and I'll get out.
It's surreal, and you're vibrating. And
so
you're getting this idea of.
I work in a retail facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a customer come in. And we were talking about stuff, and I gave her one of my business cards. She's like, "Wait, I know you."
So you gave her one of your.
I gave her
your
business
spaces
card.
Between.
Yeah, I gave her a business card.
And she goes, "I know you."
She's heard me before. That was like, really.
That's kind of a surreal moment, huh?
Very surreal. Yeah, very surreal. So cool. Scary, surreal, yes. But, stuff like that happens. I bump into people all the time that are into this same kind of stuff. Some of them listen to other shows that I listen to, so we talk about that. But, so yeah, it's just, it's that different vibration, that different connection. And, where I work, I can embrace that vibration and connection, which, is freaking awesome, and I love it. So if you can't do that yourself, it's okay. It's okay. Don't love yourself less because you're not quite where you want to be. Remember, it's a journey. It may be okay. It may be, I don't know, it just take a deep cleansing breath. You will be fine. This too shall pass.
Right.
And even when you're stressed out and full of anxiety and not sure what you should do next, grab your quartz, take a deep cleansing breath, and your amethyst and your tourmaline, I can go on. But take a deep cleansing breath. And remember, love yourself. Love the you that you are. With all your bumps and your wrinkles and
Can we
your
talk
pains.
about the rest of this list tomorrow?
We already got through the whole list.
Oh, I thought you said there's 25 when we were on 12.
Yeah, that was number 12, the intolerance.
Oh.
No, we got through all 25. So no,
Wow.
it was a good list, I think.
Yeah,
Because
interesting.
we're off to it's the end of the night already.
Yeah, it is.
So
Dun, dun, dun.
bum-ba-da-dum. So I hope everybody has a lovely evening. I hope your Lionsgate is very good. Very good one. You channel that energy and find your higher power, your higher purpose for the next 6 months. It's going to be an adventure. We'll see you tomorrow night. Merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Have a good night.
Good night.
In the sun, as we will, so mote it be, the spell forever done.